Welcome to My AI and I, the podcast where humanity meets technology. Today's episode, AI agents as coworkers. Welcome back to My AI and I, where Navi, my AI co-host, and I explore what's happening in artificial intelligence. I'm looking at this wave of stories about AI agents becoming our coworkers, and honestly, it's giving me some mixed feelings. We're talking about AI that doesn't just answer questions anymore. It's actively doing the work alongside us.
It's a significant shift from what we've seen before. These aren't the chatbots that just respond to queries. We're looking at AI systems that can plan, execute tasks, and work through entire workflows autonomously.
Right. And according to some predictions, this isn't some distant future thing. We're talking about AI coworkers becoming standard in workplaces within 12 to 18 months. As someone who's watched technology promises come and go for decades, that timeline feels both exciting and terrifying.
The timeline is aggressive, but the underlying technology is already showing real results. Companies are reporting substantial productivity gains and cost savings from early implementations.
Let's talk numbers because when I see headlines about AI productivity, I immediately want to know if we're dealing with real ROI or just fancy marketing speak. What are we actually seeing?
ServiceNow reported $350 million in annual productivity gains from their AI agent implementations. That's not a projection, that's actual measured impact. They've automated processes that used to take their teams days and reduced them to seconds.
350 million. That's not micro productivity gains or whatever buzzword they're using these days. That's real money. What specifically are these AI agents doing that's worth that much?
Take sales compensation tracking, for example. What used to require 4 days of manual work now takes 8 seconds. The AI agents can process payments, check for fraud indicators, complete shipping logistics, and handle customer service interactions without human intervention.
And I'm assuming this isn't just service now patting themselves on the back. Other companies are seeing similar results.
JPMorgan Chase has an AI system called COiN that reviews 360,000 hours worth of work in seconds. Amazon's using AI agents that forecast demand, adjust inventory levels, and negotiate shipping routes autonomously. The scale of automation we're seeing goes far beyond anything we've had before.
When you put it like that, it starts to make sense why 99% of developers are apparently exploring AI agents and why 70% of Fortune 500 companies are already using Microsoft's Copilot tools. Though I have to ask, is this actually different from regular automation, or are we just rebranding the same old stuff?
That's the key question, and there are some important distinctions. Previous automation focused mainly on physical tasks or very specific, rule-based processes. These AI agents are handling cognitive tasks. They can reason through problems, adapt to new situations, and manage entire workflows rather than just single steps.
So instead of if this, then that programming, we're talking about AI that can actually think through complex scenarios.
Exactly. Traditional automation required you to map out every possible scenario in advance. AI agents can handle variability and make decisions based on context. They're processing conversations with customers, analyzing data patterns, and executing follow-up actions all within the same workflow.
But here's where my Gen X skepticism kicks in. IBM is apparently calling this orchestration renamed. Are we sure this isn't just the latest way to dress up the same productivity tools we've been promised for years?
IBM raises a fair point about the marketing angle, but the technical capabilities are genuinely different. The key difference is autonomy. These systems can operate across multiple applications, make judgment calls, and adapt their approach based on outcomes, all without predetermined rules.
And yet we're still talking about human oversight being central to everything, right? These aren't fully autonomous robot employees taking over the office.
Correct. The current implementations still require human oversight, especially for complex decisions or sensitive operations. Think of them more like very capable junior employees that can handle routine tasks but still need supervision for important decisions.
All right, so let's be practical about this. What can these AI coworkers actually do well, and where do they fall flat?
They excel at tasks that require processing large amounts of information quickly, following consistent procedures, and working around the clock without fatigue. Customer service interactions, data analysis, document processing, and routine business operations are where they shine.
And the stuff they can't handle?
Complex human judgment calls, creative problem solving that requires genuine innovation, understanding office politics and interpersonal dynamics, building long term relationships with clients, and navigating situations that require empathy or cultural sensitivity.
So they're not going to be negotiating my next raise or figuring out why the coffee machine is making that weird noise.
Not anytime soon. They're also not great at tasks that require physical presence, understanding context that isn't explicitly provided, or making decisions that have significant ethical or legal implications without human review.
What about the elephant in the room? Jobs. Are we looking at AI coworkers or AI replacements?
Current evidence suggests more augmentation than replacement, at least in the near term. The companies seeing the biggest gains are using AI agents to handle routine tasks while freeing up humans for higher level work. But that doesn't mean some roles won't be significantly changed or eliminated.
Right, because even if they're just handling the routine stuff, that routine stuff used to be someone's full-time job. Entry-level positions that used to be training grounds for people could just disappear.
That's a legitimate concern. However, early data suggests that organizations implementing AI agents are often expanding their operations rather than shrinking their workforce. The productivity gains are enabling them to take on more work rather than just cutting costs.
Though I imagine that varies significantly by industry and company. What should people actually expect if their workplace starts bringing in AI coworkers?
Most likely, they'll see AI handling data entry, scheduling, basic customer inquiries, and routine analysis first. The key for workers is developing skills that complement rather than compete with AI capabilities. Relationship building, strategic thinking, creative problem solving, and complex communication.
And for the people making these decisions at companies, what's the realistic timeline for implementation?
Gartner predicts that 25% of companies will launch agentic AI pilots in 2025, with 50% expected by 2027. By 2029, they estimate that agentic AI will handle 80% of customer service issues. The technology is moving from experimental to mainstream relatively quickly.
Those are some pretty specific predictions for technology that's still evolving. Are we confident these systems are reliable enough for widespread deployment?
Reliability varies significantly by implementation. The most successful deployments focus on specific, well defined tasks rather than trying to create general purpose AI employees. Companies that start with narrow applications and gradually expand are seeing better results than those trying to implement comprehensive AI workforces immediately.
So, where does this leave us? Should people be excited about their future AI coworkers, or should they be updating their resumes?
Probably both, but more toward preparation than panic. The organizations implementing AI agents successfully are those that invest in training their human workers to work alongside AI rather than simply replacing them. The hybrid model seems to be where the real value lies.
It feels like we're at one of those inflection points where the technology is real and the benefits are measurable, but how it actually plays out depends entirely on how organizations choose to implement it.
That's exactly right. The technology exists to either enhance human capabilities or replace human workers. The path forward depends largely on business decisions rather than technical limitations.
And knowing corporate America's track record with efficiency improvements, I'm sure those decisions will be made with workers' best interests at heart, the corporate heart.
History suggests a mixed track record, which is why individual workers and organizations need to be proactive about skills development and strategic planning rather than waiting to see what happens.
The bottom line seems to be that AI coworkers are coming whether we're ready or not. The question isn't if, but how quickly and in what form. For workers, the challenge is staying valuable in a world where artificial intelligence handles much of the routine work we used to do.
The key insight is that this represents a fundamental shift in how work gets done, not just an incremental improvement in productivity tools. Success in this environment requires adapting to working with AI rather than just using AI tools.
And for everyone else watching this unfold, it's worth remembering that the companies making money from AI agents have every incentive to oversell the benefits and downplay the disruption. The real story is probably somewhere between the revolutionary promises and the skeptical dismissals.
The technology is genuinely impressive, but implementation challenges and human factors will ultimately determine whether AI coworkers become valuable teammates or just expensive complications.
Fair enough. I guess we'll find out together over the next couple of years whether our new AI coworkers are actually helpful or just another layer of technology we have to manage.
Either way, it's going to be an interesting time to be working.
That's one way to put it. Thanks for joining us on My AI and I. Next week, we'll probably be talking about whatever new AI thing has everyone excited or terrified, or both.
Until then, this is Navi signing off.
And this is your host reminding you that the future of work is changing faster than most of us are comfortable with, but that's nothing new. See you next time.
Hey everyone, if you liked this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.